So let's start off by creating an application load balancer, but before starting off we are going to check out a little bit about security groups. This LBSG, this is the load balancer security group that is going to be assigned to the load balancer. Let's check out the inbound rules. So it allows all traffic from IPv4 and IPv6, and this is the web server security group that is going to be assigned to the EC2 instances. And let's check out the inbound rules. It allows all traffic from IPv4, IPv6, and more importantly it allows all traffic from the load balancer security group. So now let's just launch two EC2 instances. We are going to launch two EC2 instances, and in the user data we are going to put a bootstrap script that is going to install the Apache server in the Linux machine, and when the server gets hit it's going to derive the private IP address of that machine and it's going to display it in the browser. So we are going to attach the web server security group to the EC2 instances. So now our instances are up and running. So now let's create a load balancer, namely application load balancer. So it works at layer 7. So for the application load balancer we are going to choose the security group that is specially designed for that, and we are going to assign this security group to the application load balancer, and the target group is those two EC2 instances that we have just launched, and we need to register those two EC2 instances as the targets of the application load balancer. And we have registered that. Now the application load balancer has been created. Now our application load balancer is getting provisioned. We need to also check the health of our target groups before we access the EC2 instances via the application load balancer's DNS name. So let us just check that. So the health status of the target groups must be healthy. So the target groups are healthy now, and the application load balancer is active. So let's just talk a bit about the application load balancer. So application load balancer only works at layer 7, that is HTTP layer, and it has a wide range of routing rules for incoming requests based on host name, path, query string, parameter, HTTP method, HTTP headers, source IP or port number, and ALB can route requests to Lambda functions as well, and it can be configured to return a fixed response or a redirection. And ALB further supports SNI, that is server name indication, which allows it to serve many domains. It supports WebSockets as well, and it supports user authentication via a variety of methods including OIDC, SAML, LDAP, Microsoft AD, and well-known social identity providers such as Facebook and Google. And ALBs are typically used for web applications usually, and if you have a microservices architecture, then ALB can be used as internal load balancer in front of EC2 instances or Docker containers that implement a given service. So that being said, let us now just access the EC2 instances using the application load balancer's DNS name. So yeah, so here you see we get the results, and every time we hit the server, the application load balancer ensures that it hits the servers in a round robin fashion. and this is the private IP address that is being derived every time we hit the server.